Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. My name's Jack. Today let's start off the episode by going over everything that happened in the LEGO video game world. Warner Brothers has announced a Harry Potter collection for PS4. It comes in 2 different discs, the first one being year 1 through year 4, and the second one being year 5 through year 7. They claim that this is remastered. I think the graphics are a little bit updated. They said the lighting is better, and there might even be some extra DLC later down the line. I think the timing of this collection being released is no coincidence. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is coming out with Dimensions 2, or Dimensions Wave 2 more rather. So LEGO perhaps figures this is a good opportunity for a re-release of the Harry Potter stuff and maybe to reinvigorate the franchise. Anyways, this collection is going for $50. It is set to release on October 18th, and you can pre-order it in the video description below if you want. With Christmas around the corner, sort of, not really. Well anyways, we do get a first look at our new ornament for this year. Over at Promo Bricks, a picture was released for the Toy Soldier ornament, set number 5004420. It comes in a nice little bag, and we have a tied-off loop that attaches to the hat. It's a nice little build for the Toy Soldier, and I don't believe there's any information on when or where this guy is going to be released, but you can bet it's probably going to be with a minimum purchase of X, Y, or Z during the months of probably November or December. This week there was another first look, this time in the form of a LEGO short, or a clip from a LEGO short. This is for the new Ninjago movie. The LEGO Ninjago movie will have a short that plays before the movie Storks in the very near future, and USA Today released a small clip of that short. It's just a funny little standoff between a chicken and Master Wu, but what's really interesting about the clip is that it shows a very different style from the original LEGO movie. There's a lot of real live elements within the short here, and you can even see that Master Wu, the minifig, is pretty dirty. So instead of everything in the entire universe of this story being made completely out of LEGO, it's sort of like you took your LEGO bricks and played with them outside. This was news to me when I first watched the clip, and it's certainly going to be a different vibe than what we saw from the original LEGO movie. I'm definitely looking forward to it a little more now. And in more LEGO news, here is a rumor. Alan Tran from thebrickfan.com has a source that claims we're going to be getting a new pirate ship from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie Dead Men Tell No Tales. This movie doesn't come out until May 2017, but according to the source, we're going to be getting a set that's between $200 and $250, which you can pretty much only assume is going to be a ship set. Theories are that it's either going to be the Dying Gull ship or the Silent Mary ship. These are the 2 new pirate ghost ships from the new movie. Being a big fan of LEGO pirate ships, I certainly hope this rumor is true. And if you want a link to this article or links to anything I talk about in this episode, everything is in the description below. Now, I think one of the largest stories for LEGO this week is that the new LEGO shop website has had a total makeover, at least a total makeover in terms of graphics and some formatting. As many of you know, the site was plagued with several bugs in the past, and what we have here is now a slightly split community on whether or not this new update is really working. TheBrickset.com has an article about this new website change, and if you want to get an idea about what people might be complaining about, you should check out what the comment section is there. But generally, there are just certain functions on the website that just don't seem to be working, and a lot of people are complaining that graphics aren't loading and that the site is generally slow. Personally, I just went on the site and was looking through. I think the format is actually pretty decent. I did not experience a lot of the common problems that were within the comment section, though some of them, to be honest, I have not actually tried out yet. It's certainly meant for an average user that's maybe not a huge LEGO fan to be able to navigate the website relatively easily, but as somebody who is constantly checking out LEGO sets all the time, I noticed that typing in a set number in the search bar doesn't always work when you're searching for it. Quite frankly, I think I'm just typing the numbers in a little bit too quickly and pressing enter before the site can fully load the set number that I typed down into the search bar. That's my one personal problem with it, but generally I'm pretty happy with the way the new site is. So is the LEGO shop website a great one? I would say not really. But all in all, I think this update was a slight help. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below, because from what I've been reading so far, people are still pretty torn about this. LEGO also made a couple of little headlines this week in their profit department. Wall Street Journal, as well as other media outlets, have reported that LEGO has had quite an increase in profits in Europe as well as Asia, yet they had a slight reduction or loss, 2%, in the United States. Now, before you think LEGO is losing popularity in the States, it's become pretty apparent that that is not the case, seeing as they've invested quite a lot of resources into expansion as opposed to marketing. They say they've added about 3,500 new employees, as well as opened up new factories, so it's expected to see those numbers jump back into the positives in the very near future. So with that, let's jump on to our LEGO Ideas segment. If you do not know what LEGO Ideas is, it's a website in which you submit your LEGO creation in hopes to having it become an official LEGO set. This week, no new sets got 10,000 votes, but it is worth noting that the second review stage for 2016 has now passed, and Ideas has announced that the results for the very first stage of 2016 will be announced at the end of September. Projects in this stage include the Fossil Museum, Gingerbread House, Jedi High Council Chamber, Jurassic Park Visitor Center, Modular Train Station, Old Fishing Store, Particle Accelerator, Rolling BB-8, and Johnny 5. These are some excellent projects. There's a lot that I really want to pass, but I can say right now, if I had any single favorite, I have my fingers crossed for the Old Fishing Store. Just my personal opinion, but anyways, let's move on to our custom creations. And by our custom creations, I just mean these are some cool things that people have been building throughout the week that I happen to notice. First up here is EML Frigate by Red Spacecat. The color palette can certainly be considered an homage to classic space, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. The design here is incredibly sleek. All of the curves, all of the edges, they seem to match up really nicely. There's a lot of fluidity with the entire build of this ship, and there's something about this that kind of gives the feeling that this could also just function as a submarine. There's those tiny fins on the bottom and the front, and we also have a bridge kind of sticking out on the top that definitely has a somewhat submarine kind of feel to it. Anyways, it's an excellent spaceship, and there's not a single exposed stud to be seen. This is a truly unique build here called a Mycrow Castle by Takata 1. It's my firm belief that building in micro scale often forces out quite a lot of creativity to come from the builder, and there are so many new and different techniques used in this one tiny build that it's kind of hard to wrap your head around. I've linked a video that the creator made of him deconstructing this whole thing, and when you see all the little things that go into actually making this tiny build, I guarantee that you'll be genuinely impressed. Link in the description below. Here's a build that's been circulating quite a lot this week. This is our latest LEGO animal creation from the builder Felix Jentzsch. Highly detailed and realistic animals have been coming from this builder for quite a long time, and his latest creation, this blue and gold macaw, is a great showcasing of just a culmination of skill, really. Another one of his builds is the red fox, which I actually had the opportunity to build myself coming from a set at Mock Nation, and I can tell you right now that that was an incredibly difficult build. Absolutely worth it. But when I'm looking at this blue and gold macaw, it nearly makes my head spin. There are so many more plates used on the body, and especially the head. You can see that curve that goes all the way from the start of the shoulders to the beak, essentially. Looks very, very smooth, even though everything is just right angles. And there's even some very clever building with those black rubber band pieces. Anyways, the whole shape of the bird just looks wonderful. Goes all the way down, and you can see that the tail just barely rests on that twig sticking out of the bottom. I'm assuming that is for just a little bit of extra support, and this is just one excellent looking LEGO animal. This build is called Rockie by LegoJalex. It's a wonderful title for this kind of set because not only is this a rock and roller, but his head rocks back and forth. It's a fun little build. I really like the style of the character, and the bobblehead function works really, really well. It works by just having a single antenna piece fit very snugly into the head, and everything bobbles around just as well as if there was an actual spring inside. He's got a simple stage platform with an amplifier, and a single rat friend that listens along to his music. And I gotta say, that really does look like what maybe a baby ratfink would look like in LEGO. An excellent little build, and this is also up for LEGO Ideas if you'd like to vote on it. This last build of the episode is called Valkyrie VF1 by nobu-tary. From the top we have what looks like a relatively chunky looking jet plane, but nonetheless a pretty nice looking design. And you may have guessed what its ultimate function is. Here we have it folding out into a really nice looking mech. What I like about this design is you can still see a lot of the jet elements still very visible once we have the full mech form, but it's relatively fitting. Also, I thought it was a nice touch that the gun that the mech is holding double functions as what probably could be a bomb in the jet form. Okay, that is it for this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Remember to tune in same time next week for another LEGO Weekly News update. And if you enjoy our content, you can always like or subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.